Hi, welcome to this part, that is part 32, where we are looking at AZ900 real certification questions. In this part, we will look at questions around these three topics. Do not forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the like button. That gives me an understanding of the pulse of the audience. More likes and more subscribes means I put more such informative contents. Now let us jump into the questions. Now you might ask, what about questions 1 to 60? So if you go to the playlist, so you will see this playlist. There are 31 videos. You can cover all the questions there. And there is also this playlist, this one, 8 videos. You can refer this as well. Now you might ask, are those questions valid? Still valid? Yes, it is still valid. See, the product does not change significantly. They just keep adding new features. So I am regularly posting videos. If there are new questions or questions around new features, I keep posting those videos. But the previous questions are still valid. So let us look at this question. So you have an application, it sends emails automatically based on a rule. This application you are moving to Azure, like you have this on-prem, and here you have this application, and here you have Azure. You move this application from here to here. That is what is required. Now they are asking what serverless solution you will use for the application. These are the options. Which one would you choose? Let's go with web app. So it is like if you want to build a web or an app for mobile. For example, Uber has a mobile app. For example, Amazon has both web app and mobile app. If you want to build such apps, you can use web apps. In this case, it will not fit. Why it will not fit? Because here we are asking for serverless. Web app is server based. So here, if you move to Azure, you will need a VM to deploy this solution. That's why this is wrong. B says you use a server image in marketplace. When you use it, see, if you are creating a VM in Azure and you want to use an image, you can use it. See, if you are working for corporates like Infosys, TCS, Wipro, etc., so your hardware team and the people who give you laptops, they will create an image, and using that image they will replicate it to so many laptops. Otherwise delivering laptops will become a time consuming process, and that is not what you want. But always remember, when you use server image, you have to put it on a VM, and VM is a server full solution. It is a server based solution. It is not serverless. See, again I'm telling you, we need a serverless solution. So both these two are not serverless solution. Now let us look at logic app. So what is logic app? See, this is Logic App. You can use it for cloud-based platform, creating and running automated workflows like integrate your apps, data services, and systems, and etc. Other thing Logic Apps will do is it will simplify the way you connect to legacy, modern, cutting edge. So it can also send email notifications. That is what we want also. See, I am highlighting this for you. Serverless. So it clearly says when you use these capabilities to create serverless apps, you can focus on the business logic and functionality. These services automatically scale to meet your needs. So this would be my answer, option C. Let's look at API app. So if you want to build cloud APIs, you can use API app. Now you might ask, what is a web app? Difference between web app and API app? See, web app is where you can create your own application and store it. It is a server based application. API app, what it does is, API app means if you have a service, for example, in many times in certain business scenarios, we uh, get exchange rates, exchange rates from a different website, from a third party application. If your application of a client has this requirement, we go to the third party application and get the exchange rate. That is made, we make an API call. And the third party application also, it is designed so that it can receive API calls and it can send data based on the API calls. That is why API app is used. It is not used for this scenario, and it will not be able to send emails based on rules. So API app is wrong. See, the best option in this case is a logic app, which is serverless. So this would be my final answer. Now let's jump into this question. So you are putting a website to your Azure platform, and what is the website doing? It is hosting large video files. just like YouTube, it is hosting large video files. Now you want to recommend a solution to provide best playback experience. See, large video files, what do you think about? The first thing we think about is Netflix. Large video files it hosts to give a excellent best video playback experience, so that you don't see slowness, high latency, or you do not see anything buffering. What will you recommend out of these options? So the moment I see such video playback scenarios, the moment I think about Netflix, the moment I think about Amazon Prime, I want to watch them. But what to do? I have to create this video. So I'm sitting here creating videos for you. So jokes apart, in this case, whenever you see about such OTT platforms, we should always think about CDN. What does this do? You know, your content will not be passed through the internet. It will be passed through the delivery centers or centers which is in Azure's control. It is faster. It is a dedicated network line. Plus, it provides you uh, caching services. So wherever the client is, whoever is watching, they will try to look at a location which is near to them, so that the buffering or the caching can happen from that place. So this would be my answer, but let's look at other things like application gateway. See, it is a load balancer, web traffic load balancer. Here, do we have requirement for a load balancer of your web application? No, nobody is talking about load balancing here. They're telling that I want the best playback experience. The best playback experience you can give by caching. Caching is available in CDN. There is no need to load balance. Load balance comes if you have so many VMs on the right hand side and left hand side you have load balancer. Then load balancer will decide where to transfer the load. Load balancer is like a team lead. He will or she will assign tasks to the team members. VMs are like their team members. Hence A is wrong. Let's look at B, express route. See, this will connect your on-premises infrastructure to Azure or Microsoft Edge. We do not have this requirement here. Nobody is saying I have some website on premises, I want to move it to cloud, or I want to connect. Nobody's talking about that. We want best playback experience. How to give it? Through CDN. Express route is wrong. Now let's look at traffic manager profile. See, first of all, what is traffic manager? It is a DNS based load balancer. Do we need a load balancer here? Whether you create profile, blah blah blah, whatever, do you need load balancer here? We do not need load balancer. We want cache. That's why this is wrong. So this would be my final answer, and the others are wrong because of this. You refer in red. I have written why they will not fit the bill here. Now let's jump into the next one. See, you have a team of developers. They are doing just some research work, etc. They are trying some new features and etc. So what they are doing is they are creating 50 virtual machines each week, okay, and then removing them. So they are creating 50 VMs in a week and then they are removing them once the work is done. How they are doing it? They have configured ARM. What is ARM? Boss, what is ARM? ARM is infrastructure as a code. If you want to deploy so many services in one go, you will write a code which is infrastructure as a code, and everything will get deployed, installed, and configured. What is the advantage? You will not make mistakes. It is a consistent management layer. That means whatever has been deployed in dev, it will be deployed in the test environments as well. There is no chance of human error. Now what it is asking is, you want an Azure service which will minimize the admin effort to deploy and remove virtual machines. Here you see 50 machines, 50 VMs are created and deployed. They want to minimize the administrative effort to do this task, to deploy and remove, deploy and remove, deploy and remove. That should be automated. How will you do that here? What will you do that? How will you do that? So here it is saying I will create reserved VM instances. Okay. So will it help? Why do we use reserve instances? Reserve means you are reserving something when you know you will use it for 1 to 3 years. If you're going to give a commitment of 1 or 3 years, then here you are creating a VM and removing it. You just need it for a week. There is no reserve instance. You cannot reserve VMs for 1 week. Minimum is 1 year. So this is wrong. Let's look at this one. You will use virtual machine scale sets. Why is scale sets used? Auto scaling, scale up, scale down, scale up, scale down. It will help you create a group of load balanced VMs. Why? Because if you have 3 VMs, you started your startup and slowly you see that a lot of people accessing your web applications. Now automatically you need 8 VMs someday. So what you will have to do is just set scale sets. It will automatically create 8 VMs. Once the load decreases, it will automatically go back to 3 VMs. Do you have this requirement? No. It is not telling that from 8 to 3, 3 to 8. It is saying I will create 50 virtual machines. I will remove 50 virtual machines. This is not possible through skill sets because it will not remove the virtual machines. It will just go down. If you started from 3, it will go to 8, 10, and it will come down to 3 or come down to 6. Now let's look at what is Microsoft Managed Desktop. See, this you will be useful using this Microsoft Managed Desktop. It is a cloud-based service that brings together Microsoft 365. You will get Windows 10, 365 Office, and added features like user device deployment, IT service management. So do you need this? You only have to create 50 virtual machines and drop 50 virtual machines. Is anybody saying that I want an IT service and operations, I want a call center to be set up, I want the user device deployment just like Infosys, TCS, Wipro, their IT service system deploy laptops and mobile phones which are configured for the network? Do you need that? Do you need security monitoring and response? Whether your laptops is somebody accessing some illegal websites, do you need that security monitoring? No, boss. So D is wrong. We are only left with one, that is Azure DevTest Labs. It is born. It is born. It is born for this purpose. You can create environments using reusable components and artifacts, and you can get rid of it. You can rip it apart and you can recreate it. That is the purpose. So what it will do for you? It will quickly provision dev and test environments. That is what you want. It will quickly provision. It will rip it away and again quickly provision. Okay, it will minimize waste with quotas and policies. It sets automated shutdowns to minimize cost, and you can use both Windows and Linux environments. There is a mechanism of self-service cost control. You can use templates to do it, and it also works with CI/CD pipelines. Fantastic. Now, if you are hiring IIT graduates and etc., just throw this feature to them. Let them use it and enjoy their life. They don't have to worry about cost. The problem with Indian IT companies is they want to do innovation without spending money. I repeat, Indian IT companies, they want to do innovation without spending money. And hence, please make use of this service. Give it to your developers so that they can do research and you will also not go bankrupt. So this is the final answer. See, always remember one thing. If you are in an organization, if you spend $100 on innovation and you can, if you are able to manage and cascade that innovation across different projects, $100 of investment in innovation will give you at least $1,000 of savings. At least. That is at least 10 times of savings. So if you do it correctly, if you spend correctly, you can derive a lot of values. So enough of gyan for this part. Subscribe to my channel. Please hit the like button. If the subscription and likes are less, that means you're not liking my content, so my video publishing frequency will go down. So in this part, we looked at questions related to these three topics. Do not forget to refer parts 1 to 31 of this playlist. See you in the next part.